Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Oh, game? Yes, game. I'm learning how to make games. I'm learning Godot, the game engine, and I'm gonna make a game. I'm very much enjoying it. I need to do an update video on YouTube on how it's going. Uh, it might not seem like I've done a lot, but I'm really enjoying what I have done, or have learned for now. Um, but what I want to do next is I want to make like a little environment to see what a top-down environment would look like. And so I made this like operation room, or this operating room that was supposed to be, or that's supposed to be a part of like sort of the main base. Um, it's the room you respawn in as well. So I decided, okay, I'll try to make this room and see how that looks. Because it'll get me used to making tile maps and how I construct the assets for the game. So, okay, um, the game is gonna be a top-down 3D game faking being a 2D game, right? So it is 3D. It's just that it's just gonna be from the top down. So I'll like crush down the FOV so you barely see the walls, but you still will get some like walls peeking in from like the way side of the screen. But the middle of the screen is pretty much just a two down or 2D game, right? When is it coming out? The fuck? Dude, I'm not that fast. But yeah, hold on. I can show you guys what I've got. It doesn't seem that impressive, but I'm really proud of like the process I've made in the short amount of time. Uh, hold on, let me show you. There you go. So, uh, literally the only thing I've made is I sort of like I'm trying out putting animations on top of it, but obviously this isn't how it's supposed to be. Uh, I've literally only been messing around with character movement, but I have gotten a state machine working, which I think is really nice. Cause that was sort of a yeah. I'm just really happy I got a state machine working, so I can do some more like weird uh or more complex movement, right? Because that was what was bothering me with my first attempt was the movement wasn't I couldn't add all the stuff that I wanted to it, and now I have. So like here. So this is the idea. It's basically like top down. Oh shit! I need to remove that. Yeah, we're I'm currently fucking around with the camera, and I haven't figured that out yet. So we're gonna remove that first, so the camera doesn't just flick around like fuck. But yeah, you can see I haven't figured out like the turning the character towards the camera and stuff like that. But you can see here at the bottom that we have the states. So at the moment, the character. Wait, why isn't it writing the thingy? Idle states aren't. Wait, did I remove it? Uh, I did though. I didn't remove it. Change state dot emit. Oh, right. I was messing around with the animation. Maybe that probably fucked it up. Yeah, but still, it does work. Like, you can walk around, you can jump. You can also crouch. Like, see? It goes into crouching. Uh, and you can jump and then roll after a jump. There's no animations for it, but it all works like I wanted it to. So if you crouch midair, it goes into a roll. So if I let go, it like rolls a little bit. If I jump normally, it doesn't do that. But yeah, and I want to do like a little environment for this because I just want to see what an environment would look like from a top-down perspective like this. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. A 3D game? No, no, a 2D game. 3D masquerading as 2D. Yeah, because I don't want to work with like um I don't want to work with making models for the enemies, so everything's gonna be top down like this pretty much, you know. Uh, but I'm still thinking about maybe separating them into layers, so there's like a semblance of perspective when they're off to the side. Like for example, with this guy, you could have legs, a torso, and then the head, so that when your camera view is here, your main character's here, and you see a person off to the side, you sort of see the bits separated into the three layers, which might help give like more of an illusion that there's depth to the characters. But when it comes to the objects, have you ever textured one of your 3D models with drawings you made? Nope. And I am not interested in trying to do that. What idea I have is that each of the models in the game, uh, when it comes to the environment, is gonna be made out of cutouts, pretty much. Just a pile of drawings stitched together to fake an object. So what I wanted to do first is I wanted to model, or well, not model, draw the operating tables. And the idea is I would draw the top surface of the operating table, and then I would draw. Well, I think I'm gonna. So I draw the top surface, and then I draw the side, with the legs and stuff like this. And I think that's all I need. Cause if we're thinking about it, because of the length of the table, we're never gonna see the front bottom end or the front or the back top end of the table. So it only matters that I have the side, and then I can make the foot of the table, which is basically just an X with some wheels, and then I put that at the bottom. So yeah, and in the scene, I'll just like elevate them above each other a little bit. So you get a little bit of parallax, where from the top down perfectly, you don't really see the legs of the table, and then if the table goes off to the side, you start, seeing a tiny bit of the stand and the legs like that. So yeah, that's the idea. Isn't it easier to move the camera? What do you mean? I don't know what that question means at all. But yeah, let's design that. Let me find some references. I do have some references of what kind of like operating table I wanted, but I wanted to mix it with something else as well. So let me find my reference for that. Figma. I don't know how well it's gonna turn out. That's why I sort of need to just try it and see what it looks like in a game setting. So that's why I sort of made just well, I just made a room, and I'm gonna model everything in the room and then put the room together and see how that looks. I'll bother with the getting the character moving properly later. I just want to have a room to fuck around in. Yeah, I wanted to use this reference because it's not really an operating table. It's more like a resurrection table, I guess. So I wanted to have some like weird inscriptions and patterns on it, kind of like that stuff from the Guillermo del Toro's like Frankenstein movie. Yeah. Is this an Oswald shop or something? Oswald's shop is next to this. Um, so for the idea of the game that I have at the moment is that you play as some sort of doll or puppet that keeps getting resurrected to be sent out to do like scavenging runs. Um, and so Oswald like makes your shell, like the body parts and stuff like that. Then you get put into that shell in the operating room where they like resurrect and like put flesh into it and whatever, and you come back to life, and then you get sent off to the missions. I still don't really know where you are. Like, so the main base that you reside at is supposed to move, right? It can move, but I don't know how it moves. I have some like um ideas, but none of them like are perfect yet. Like it's either like a flying ship of some sorts, like a blimp, or like a giant walking tank city thing that you are stowed away on the underbelly of the city of. Um but the issue with the giant city, I'm thinking like, well, yeah, the city moves, but it doesn't move quickly. Like you'll get to where you want to be really slowly. And that's the sort of like thing you really don't need to care about, but I'm just thinking about it, like, oh, maybe there's like a neater way to do it. But I like the idea of being like on the underbelly of a giant walking city, because I just like the visual of it like slowly walking and that shaking the base, like very occasionally as it steps. The camera will vibrate a bit and a bit of dust particles fall from the ceiling, the lights shake, uh, that kind of stuff. I feel like that would just be cool. And also you could have like a walkway right under the city that just shows you the trenches like going by. But that's like really ambitious already. So literally for now, just one room. Uh, well, yeah, a giant city would be easy for the enemies to spot as well. What would make most sense would be for it to be underground, and then for them to get you to different locations through tunnels. That would make the most sense. But also, most, eh, most, like, yeah, underground, it makes sense. But yeah, anyway, I need to think about the size of the table first, so I know how many pixels to make it long, the sprite long. So a character is um how long is a character? Give me a sec. I wrote it down how long a character sprite is. A character sprite is 128 pixels. So if I lay him down, I feel like that would be how long you'd be if you lay him down. Would the drill worms work? I guess so. You could have like the drill worms. So the operating table is uh like 3 characters long. Hold on. Yeah, pretty much 3 people or 3 top-down people long. Okay, cool. So that's what we'll do. I also... Okay, let's see. I want the table to have these, like, drawings on it. We might need to make it a little wider for that sake, but we'll see. Okay. So, separate the head there, and the torso and legs can have their own sections of the table. And then, like, we need, like, swivel out armrests. And I think, is this what I'm looking for? I think that is, like, an armrest kind of thing, right? Could have that. Something like that. Yeah, we'll definitely need to do 2 people wide. Well, no, actually not, because I can just separate these side arms out into their own layer. So I can just have those be their own thing, and then I can save on space. Yeah, and then we have like these weird patterns on it. Ooh, I also like the idea of like straps on the table. Because maybe like the process makes the muscles spasm or whatever. So they gotta like hold the person down. Maybe make the head hold circular. I feel like that makes it feel more uh, specialized. Under or over the main table? Over. Like this. Basically the same as this. Just a tiny bit over. Like, they're not thick. They're just, like, very thin metal plates. And everything should be metal. I don't want any fabric to get stained or whatever. Oh, also, the idea is the whole room is bathroom tiled. And there's a drain in one of the corners of the room. So under each of the door would be like a little lip, so water doesn't spill into other hallways. But this whole room is pretty much tiled to be watertight, because, well, it's gonna get messy in there, so it makes sense to have the whole room be hose downable. And there's also a hose on the wall, literally like on the wall. And there's a sink and like a little bit of a study table. There's the intercom system with some like lights, and I'll figure out some like medical devices that are used, and those like overhead medical lights, some shelves, a lot of stuff that I'll be able to have some fun with. Hold on, I can make a symmetry tool. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is just a sketch. I'm just figuring out what I want it to look like. But I really like the sort of ribby looking design of this. the vibe I'm going for is kind of what would a good way what would be a good way to describe it? Surgical occultism. Like if witchcraft was scienceified, what would the equipment look like? Because you're basically a voodoo doll. Uh, Magic science, yippee, kind of deal. And some like big spikes. I feel like they'd impale the puppet on some like spikes and like surge magic through it or some shit. So there'd just be like these spikes running down the middle. Ooh, and then the fun part is also then I can do height maps for this stuff. Because the light sources are there, I can have height maps that abide by the light sources. So I can make it like dip down because I'm sort of imagining this to be like a dish, where it's like flat outside and then it sort of dips in a little like that, where the body sits, and then the little like epidermic spikies come out like that. That's sort of what I'm imagining it as. Neat thing about Udu dolls is that they are medical tools. Oh, neat! I did not know that. I do know there's like medical dolls that like patients use to like point out where it hurts and stuff. That like some cultures use. Is this asset gonna be in 3D? Nope. It's gonna be fake 3D. But yeah, there you go. That's pretty much what I want. Okay, let's save this. Let's make a new file. 128 wide, and then we need 128 times 3 tall. Give me a sec. Pulling the calculator out. 120. Wait, was it 128? 100. Where the fuck did I write it? Oh, wrong book. Yeah, 128. 108 times 384. Okay. 384. Go. That's. I feel like that's too long. I mean, I can. Hold on. I'll put the character in. So I can have a ref framework. Oh yeah, it's not too long. Yeah, it's fine. It's just it's a little skinny. But we're gonna separate the arms out anyway, so it doesn't matter. Actually, we're gonna separate out the every part of it. Not every part, but I want to separate out the headrest from the midsection from the leg section, so I can have them on different elevations. I don't want this all being flat. I want it like this, where the headrest goes a little up, and the midsection goes a little this, and the leg section goes a little down. You know, so we can have a little bit of depth. Do you know the game from Amanita Design? Maybe this could help you with your game. They have a game called Creeks with a style that is a little bit similar to yours. What's the game called Creeks? I'll check it out. Is it the point-and-click adventure game? Because I don't know if it's the game you meant. Hold on. Creeks. Wait, I think I know this studio. Hold on. The style looks really familiar. Let me search up the studio. Didn't they make the? They made a bunch of different. Yeah, I love this studio. Holy shit! I need to play some games from this studio. They made the game with the little robot guy. Yeah. Ah, the studio is so good. I need to play all of the games that they have. Honestly, I've not played any of them, which is a tragedy. Honestly, I should be embarrassed that I haven't. But yeah, how am I gonna? Okay, hold on. I know that I can make something like a sprite sheet, so that I can have all the elements of the table be on the same uh be on the same image, and then just separate it out into separate things. But I don't know if I can do that in 3D. Hold on, give me a sec. I'm gonna search up if I can do that. 3D sprite sheet. I mean, surely. Even if it doesn't work, I still have drawn all of them, so I can separate them out later. You haven't? Now I haven't played any of them. I told you, I should be ashamed. Control C, Control V. Oh, whoops. Control V. Oh yeah, it's not even. I mean, that's fine, because then I can just make the. I can have the left and right arm of the table just be up here. So yeah, it's perfectly fine. The game fits your energy perfectly. Oh, I completely agree. I really like. I really love the hand drawn style that they have. Operating table. Hold on, I gotta go out of Krita for a second, because the pen is bugged and it's permanently a grabby hand and it's annoying. But yeah. For fun, I have been thinking about. Shoo, go fuck off. Use disc. The Discord overlay pops up on Krita and it blocks the fucking open options on the menu that I want to use, and it takes so long to go away. Fuck off, Krita. Or not Krita, Discord. I mean, Discord pop-ups. Like, it thinks Krita is a game. This is no game. Yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh, also I need some, well, not yet. I do want, like, really good, gritty textures, so I'll make sure I get those right, but for now, let's just... And I'm actually kind of fine if the lines aren't like perfect or they're a little wobbly. Because I think it's gonna add to the charm. I do want things to intentionally not be perfect, I think. I think that's important. I don't want things looking too stiff in the world. Because if I'm gonna draw everything by hand, at least I want it to be able to, for the person playing to be able to tell that it's drawn by hand. Do I want the legs narrowing in a little? No. Basically a fucking Roblox character. Sock Puppet Man blinks? Yeah. Okay, and then the restraints. Don't need restraints on the midsection. Okay, I will have to draw those. No. I think it's gonna be really satisfying to have all the assets like slowly come together as I like uh keep making them. And I think that's also really it fits my workflow, I think. It's going to be really satisfying to like just see all of them gradually come together. to yoink this reference again. It's so good. Sure if I can. Just steal it from here again. My hand hurts. Wait, why the fuck can't you see the screen? Whoops. Hello? That's not Krita! There you go. I don't like it. I think it's too small. Try again. Yeah, this is a little better. You've done a lot of monsters, but I don't see a lot of garden. Good point. Yeah, I have done a lot. There's a lack of gardens for sure. Good observation. Um, I don't know how to respond to that. I like gardens. Trust me, I do. I really do like gardens. Okay, I want some non-symmetry though, as well. I think I'm gonna add stuff that sort of looks like text. think adding some stars would be fun. Yeah, that's good. Okay, that's good. Get back to the table. I need to add the, there are like these hinges on the side of the table that I really like. These, and they stick out a little further than the sides of the table. Those will help add some needed depth. This. The nice thing about it being so low resolution is I can kind of bullshit my way through a lot of the details. If I just put shadows and highlights in the right places, you'll just go, it's close enough. You know? Like, your brain kind of does the rest of the work. I can just hint at stuff, which is really fun. It's kind of like, I don't want to say it's pixel art. It really isn't. Pixel art is so much harder. But, you know, it's the magic is with what's not there. I think I can make this image on just one plane and then just snap the plane in these places. I don't think I need to make it like 3 separate pieces. Okay, and we add the mounting holes where the side arms go. Okay, cool. And the straps on the legs. It's gonna be so much fun to make all these assets, dude. I can already feel it. I can feel it brewing, my excitement. Cool, and now we do the armrests. Make a new layer. Move this. Where is this? Oh, whoops. What site is he viewing chat? I'm viewing both. I'm doing it through OBS, so I can see you everywhere. There you go. Okay, let's put these on a different group. Then I can still color them on this, so I can use the mirror tool. And then I'll take them up when they're done. Okay, there you go, that's the top of the table. Now let's get some reference images in here, because I want to get the grittiest, crappiest looking rusty table. Okay, I do need to add it in as this kind of an image to be able to sample the colors though, which is kind of annoying. But it's fine, I only need that small section of it. This section, the yummy rusty section right here. That. And let's see. Want this other one as well? No. I'm fine with this crappy rusty one. Okay, so the top surface is definitely polished. You know, it's not they're not gonna let the top surface of it rust. Still, I do want some variety in the colors. so let's get some... I definitely want it to look cold. Like, the whole room is supposed to kind of look a little cold, even with the warm light, because it's an operating room, you know? Like, cold colors kind of fit, so... I'm gonna start with a base of the bluish hue. I'm not striving for perfection, by the way. Uh, because I know that as I keep making more assets, I'm gonna get better at knowing what's what looks good on an asset, like the saturation, the colors that I pick and stuff like that. So I'm not expecting this to be the last operating table I'm gonna draw. I feel like I'm fully prepared to go back to this and completely have to redraw it to make it fit with the rest of the newer assets that I'll eventually make, you know? I think that's completely fine. And I like that fact that because of the nature of it being a game, I can kind of just work on it forever. And I can update things whenever. So if I feel like a texture or something like that isn't to my liking, it's not like, well, it's over. No, I could just change it. I'm so dude, like just I can't wait for it to. Well, I can wait. It's gonna take a long time, but I mean, like, I can't wait for it to be a game, and then I could just fuck around with it and like toil away at that, just work my ass off, rotting away and working on that forever. Be so good. Okay, let's see. So the straps. Do I need to make this shiny? What's the I don't know if I need to make it shiny. I feel like faking it would help a bit. Like doing this and then adding a bit of depth with in these like indents where it's supposed to go in. Oh, hold on. Where it's supposed to go in, I should first like just make it all a layer darker so we can tell this. Yeah, like that first, and then can It's doing it. Doing the thing. And I think I really need to, like, make shadows and bright areas stand out from each other quite a fair bit. Well, the highlights should be more of a yellowish tone, actually. The light, the warm light, the hospital room. But yeah, like these straps, for example, I should really push the highlights on them to make them pop. They're gonna be tiny. Like, that'll help a lot. The restraints across the waist? Nah, nah. I think it's fine. Okay, then we can add highlights to the edges of these little patterns. They seem like they're like popping out a bit. I gotta be careful with doing it though. Don't wanna overdo it. But around the holes for sure. Also, I feel like the pattern should be a different color. Let's try that. Could have them split out into mask. I could have them be like a bronze. Ew. I mean, well, hold on. How am I gonna do this? So, I need to select opaque, shrink selection by 1 pixel. There you. Oh, look, fuck, dude. Okay. I mean, I'm just. That's fucking sick, dude. Sick. Holy shit. Just bang right away. Instantly, just the coolest thing ever. Okay, we can make the ones that are in the shadow darker, and we can make the ones that are out highlighted. Oof, look at that. It's fucking nice right there. Okay, now we gotta. I'm thinking the table's looking a little too clean. We gotta dirty it up a bit. So now, let's see, rust. Let's do nice brown first. mainly around the sidebars here, because those probably be a lot of moisture collecting in those. Edges. And around the connection points of the straps. You think these could get burned in the back of the puppet? Oh yeah, that would definitely be cool. If they got burnt into the back of the puppet. Let's do some brighter oranges. Then we can add a layer on top of all of this. Just clean up the details. Sharpen edges. Can have some like dents, scratches, metal. I think that's alright. Probably pretty good. Now the arms. Yeah, it works. Some darker shadows around the I'd say that's alright. Good enough. Good enough for now. Okay, then I can move these up here. Fuck. What the fuck? Okay. Leave that. Hold on. Does that white background stick around? No. Yeah, it's the left arm and the right arm. And all the top pieces. Now we add our beautiful posterized filter over it. Because, you know, I love myself a posterized filter. There you go. Look at all those colors. Okay, good. Now we do the side of the table and the underside. I should have probably put that on the same... Nah. I could just put it here, actually. Hold on. Okay, so for this I need the bottom of the table, which is like a big old X. Probably will take up all of this top half. And then we need the bottom section of the table, which I'll have to figure out. Please give me the angle I'm looking for. Thank you. I'll do it on this side instead. Okay, so for the thing I want a little up, a little this, and then a little down. Hold on. A little up, flat, down. So I'll probably have it, it's in the middle. It's like, it's kind of the middle. I like this, and I do like the like big old turn-imajigs. Like adjust the height and the foot pumpy thing to kick the thing taller. I like both of those elements. I also like this like swivel arm here in the front, and I like how there's like a connection to this front piece. there's just some shenanigans happening in here. No idea. Make it look like there's some shit happening. Okay, cool. And the foot's gonna be separate. I need to draw that on this angle. There you go. And the X I'll figure out last. Don't need this. Basically only need this. Yeah, I already want to draw the top of the table to be wonkier. I'm already feeling the urge to, but it's gonna be fine. I'll make it first, and I think I'm gonna give myself a rule, or I'm gonna force myself to do one thing. I will not redraw any one element if I don't like it until I finish the whole scene. Because otherwise I'll just be stuck in a limbo of redrawing a table forever. Because I can't get it exactly how I want it. So I think that'll be the rule. So even if I feel like, I could do the table better, I'll leave it till the end. Because maybe when the scene's all together, you won't be able to tell anyway. Especially because everything's so damn tiny. There you go. Side of the table. And then we do the wheels. Oh. Then we color it. This can be rusted to shit. What color do you think this was originally? Thinking like a blue. Could definitely imagine it being blue originally. It's the color that's gonna be left over in tiny splotches. Go darker brown. Okay, go. I just sort of want to quickly get through it because I'm so curious to see what something like this even looks like from the perspective I'm imagining. Like, it's not perfect, because, like, things like the handles on the cranks don't stick out and stuff, but I feel like it's just gonna be... If it's filled with a room of things made in the same way, it's gonna be convincing enough that it'll just work. You know? I hope it'll just work magically. Also, I definitely need to straighten these lines. Yeah, actually, no, I don't need to straighten the lines. It doesn't matter. You'll barely be able to see this. Okay, select opaque. I feel like that's just gonna work. It'll work itself out somehow. Yeah, and seeing the side of the table like this, I feel like I can get away with being a lot more loose than I did with the top of the table. I was paying way too much attention to the top of the table, but I feel like you really don't need much. And I feel like I like this more than the top of the table because it's just looser and grittier. But that can also be a downside because it's a little blurry. But we can sharpen things up, hopefully. Try and do that. Okay, there you go. It's literally, that's the table done. It should be, that should be all the components I need for it. Okay, Control G. Add filter mask. Rain the fuck out of my image. It barely did anything, but it's good enough. Okay. Gotta clean up some of these edges, just seeing that there's some loose pixels. Loose pixels also I don't think would matter much. A few pixels here or there are not gonna ruin the dirty scene. The scene's dirty as hell anyway, so it's... Okay. There you go. We have the top. Why? Top. Oh. And, well, the top and the sides. Now, what we should be able to do is move the background. I export this. Let's save it first. I export it as PNG operating table top. side. There you go. Okay, let's hop into Godot and see if I can't put these pieces together. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some water. Okay, I'm back. Let me watch a quick tutorial, because I don't actually know how to put a 3D sprite, or, yeah. I don't know how to... Sprite 3D. Okay, cool. Let's do that then. And let me open up Godot. It's just a Sprite 3D. I can just use the same... I don't need to figure out the sprite sheet thing yet. Just crop each of them. I think. Is this visible? Is it loading so slowly? Can you see this? Nope. That's just a screen of nothing. Okay, let's just do this then. There you go. Hello everyone. See everything now. Okay, so we can... Whoops. Drag that in. Drag that. I also need a actual, like, older sprites. Nicer. Huh? Okay. Weird. Oh shit. Thank you for the $10. The Idea Junkie. Hello, I know this is a completely random, but how do you structure your week? How do you ensure things get done? I don't. I barely get things done. What do you mean? I barely get things done. I'm terrible at structuring things. I'm not the person you should get uh you should get advice from for structuring things well. But yeah, let's see. So I will just add it to the home scene. Um, sprite, sprite. Can. Okay, how can I region on? Yep, that's what I was looking for. Oh, no, this fucker. It's just tunk. Brother, let me press my sprite, man. Hold on, let me just move it over the side so I don't accidentally press the ground every single time I mess with it. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. I want to check how to bend a 2D sprite as well. Godot. If that's even... I mean, it should be possible, right? It's literally just adding a kink to the fucking 3D sprite. How do I bend a 3D sprite? Bend a 3D... Well, I'll figure that out in a second. Let me... I'll figure that out in a fucking second. Hold on. Let me move. What was the key again? Was it F? Yes. Making a game? Yes. Okay, so regions, edit regions. Just till there. It's the top. And then I guess I'll just make two more. Control. This one. Yes. There we are. that. Huh. Is it... do I have to put this one... which one gets rendered first? I guess that's also something I'll have to figure out. I mean, if the camera doesn't move from the top... oh, it does mess with it. How do I fix it? I don't know how to fix that. Figure it out later. Add all the elements first, then... oh yeah, that's so weird. Ugh. No. How to... flag geometry, ability... no. Guess I could put this on layer 2. Put this on layer 2. That fix it? No. Offset. The Kama 3D whose call mask yes, whatever that means. Okay, ooh. Did I accidentally do the right arm twice? Oh no. Hold on. Give me a sec. sorting. There you go. Sorting. There you go. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Higher? Is making it higher change anything? Yes. Okay. Thank you. There you go. Fixed it. Figured it out. Okay. Next, we add another sprite 3D. That will be the base of the table. There. That's way over here. Where did it go? Tiny. Give me that. Okay. Turn that. There you go, and I obviously still need to bend that thing above. But the region, that. And then control. I want two of these. I want to slightly off to either side. Like, yeah, like that pretty much. And then control again. Do this part instead. There you go. I mean, it actually looks kind of fucking good. Oh shit! Hold on, I wasn't showing it. Give me a sec. Here, look. it looks. It actually looks kind of alright. Now we just need to. Okay, now I just need to figure out how to bend this to fit that. So give me just a sec while I look that up. Okay, so how to bend sprite. Okay, mesh instance 3D node. Plain mesh. Okay. Let's see about that. Mesh instance 3D. So I can just put this in there? Fuck. Geometry transform. Click. Mesh. That doesn't exist. Yeah, no, I'll need some time to figure that out myself. What the fuck? It's more steps to that than I want, but we do have this, which, I mean, even if it's not bent yet, it is not half bad. So like, hold on. Let me put this in the scene. Like that. Let me just... What the fuck does that look like? Look at that! Look at that! Hold on. We gotta get closer than that. Look at that! It's a little small. But like, look! That's exactly what I want! Holy shit! Look! You can see the side of it? And it works! Look at that! Holy shit! It's got a foot. It's got everything. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, this is gonna work. This is gonna work so fucking well. Look at that. Like, you don't even... Like, yeah, it's a little janky, but, like, it fucking works. Especially if I... Like this isn't the FOV I want to go with. This is a little bit... Like, you can see a little too much of the side when I walk over here. I'll crunch down the FOV a little more than this. But, like... That's completely convincing enough where I'm like, yeah, that's a table. You know? If I add the shadow of the table as well... Hold on, I think I can enable that. Shadows. First time too, yeah. Visibility... Geometry, cast shadow. Cast shadow is on. Ability range, globalization, static, dynamic. What do I... Hold on. Gotta look it up again. Don't know shit. Geometry instance, cache. One. Material override, texture flow. Opaque pre-pass. Opaque pre-pass. Flags. pre-pass. Aha! Here's the shadow. Hold on. Let's do that for the rest of them. Pig pre-pass. I'll probably add it to this as well. Fuck is it? Peg pre-pass and the foot. I mean, the foot's gonna be on the ground anyway, so it doesn't matter, but, you know. For now, just to check. Peg pre-pass. It's a fucking table! Holy shit! Look at it! It completely works. This style completely works. And, I definitely need to make the details more clear. Like, be a lot harsher with details, cause the game's gonna be, like, hold on, I'm gonna have, like, you'll need a pretty big field of vision. At least it'll be this wide out, and you won't see shit. Yeah. But it is good. I wanna duplicate the table. Like, make a few of them. Do I... How the fuck? Things in a group. What do I put things in a group? You know what? Doesn't matter. Duplicating the whole thing. Look at that! Oh, my little tables. Yeah, this is totally gonna work. A little rough around the edges, but non-hostile areas. Oh yeah, definitely, like, I could have, like, a zoom in and out thing. Literally. That'll solve it. So you can, like, zoom in and enjoy the details a little. Yeah, that works completely. That's like, yeah. I don't see how that couldn't work. I like that style. It's a little weird, but if the whole world of the game commits to it, fuck it. If the whole world commits to it, it's gonna work out. Yippee, yippee, yippee. Jump and slide. Jump and slide. The little legs wiggling as well. I still need to figure out the character situation. Also, he looks a little big because he's on top of the pill. Obviously he's way too close to the camera. Like, it's supposed to be. And it's just he shouldn't look that big next to the tables. Yeah, I like that, but I definitely need to improve the sprites. Cause, like, the belts, you can't tell what the fuck those are. You really can't tell. I'll have to figure something out with that. Yeah, boing. Is the game 3D? It's gonna fake 3D. Or it's gonna fake 2D. So yeah, it's 3D because I want, like, elevation and stuff like that, but the graphics are gonna be 2D. uh, like this. So the sprites will be 2D images, uh, acting as if they are 3D. Just convincing enough. But yeah, I'll need to. You know what could be good? I'm gonna make a sort of test image, so I know how big details register, and then I can sort of use that as a because like this looks good up close, but you're never gonna be this close to it. And also, I need some sharper edges. I feel like the edges are what ruins it. Like these edges right here. So edges gotta be really clean. Cause like, look, the only thing that sort of like ruins it for me is that those not so clean edges. The edges gotta be really sharp. I think you can add thickness to images. No, you can add thickness so it has a little lip. You could probably do that with these as well. Like the items in Minecraft have. Do they have thickness? Where they're like 1 pixel thick, or maybe I'm just remembering things wrong. Maybe that's like a mod. Can't you fake elevation with 2D? The type of elevation that I want is easier to do if I just make it 3D. So it faking 3D in a 2D game is a lot harder than faking 2D in a 3D game. Cause yeah, cause with a 3D game, the only thing you're faking is visual. The whole game is still 3D. It just looks 2D. With a 2D game faking as 3D, there's so much more shit you have to add. And all that stuff that I want, uh, like there's a lot of things that I wanted to have that would be so hard to have in a 2D engine. Like I'd literally need to code a third dimension onto the 2D engine or onto the 2D Godot engine. Because, like, for example, 2D doesn't have shadows like this, where the shadows are depending on the height of an object. Because there's no height. So you'd have to assign a height to all objects and then make your own shading from like a calculated like light source and shit. Because the 2D light source casts shadows that are infinitely long and just fade into the darkness for anything. It doesn't matter how tall it is, because there is no tall, right? So yeah, it's just way easier if I just make it 3D and then fake 2D. But yeah, this lets me see the potential though. I really like being able to see the table when I move away, like the side of the table, even though it's wrong, because that clips in front. It doesn't matter. And even I could if I figure out how to bend this, I can probably bend that as well. But yeah, I'm so happy with that. That confirms that what I want to do with the graphics works. It's gonna work. With shelves and boxes, those will even be more convincing because those will literally be perfectly enclosed, so there won't be any like weird gaps like this that make it look weird. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna disappear now. I'm happy. That's all I wanted to do this stream is just try and see if this works, and I'll mess around with it a little more off stream to see if I can't bend this and all of that. But yeah, take care. Take care. I'm gonna leave now. I'm gonna